everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Past few episodes have been about some interesting grape varietals. I thought they were very fun and educational to do. And yeah, we've learned about Nealuccio, which is Sangiovese from Corsica, Salice Salentino. Could not spit that one out. So those are kind of fun to do. Now we're going to go to another category. I really like doing these. These are red blends from, well, we got two from Washington and one from Oregon. And they go from, lower price range, middle, to a little bit upper price range. So this will be a fun one to do. Red blends are a huge category. Everybody loves them. And in the United States, you see, you get a lot of liberty in what they can do with red blends. Unlike Europe, where they have more stricter rules about what they can put in certain wines. Not in the United States. You can put whatever you want in there, and hopefully it turns out good. So let's get started right off the bat with the Ryan Patrick Redhead Red. This is a 2018. I was excited to try this one because 2018 was a great vintage, and Redhead Red has always been one of those wines that really delivers. This is $11. Ryan Patrick Redhead Red. This is a Cab Merlot Syrah blend. There you go. Give it a little rinse here. Why, it's very interesting. In Washington State, you'll find a lot of blends with Syrah in them. You say, well, why do they use Syrah? Well, part of the reason, and most wineries won't say anything about it, but it's true. Syrah, there's actually a boatload of Syrah available because, well, Syrah sales are a little bit weak. So they have, winemakers love Syrah. I love Syrah. A lot of you love Syrah. But for some reason, Syrah sales are weak. And, of course, we hope they chug along and improve. I have many reasons why I think that's the case. I think I've mentioned them on some of the episodes. But let's look at the color of this. This is a kind of a, well, yeah, reddish. A lot of red on this one. Yeah, I'm going to say red to garnet right in there. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we get on the nose. Yeah, Syrah sales are sluggish at best, which is hard for me to believe because Syrah is such a great wine. And certainly in the Rhone Valley, it's the big bad boy of northern Rhone. And a lot of people clamor for those wines. They'll spend $400, $500, $600 for a bottle of Hermitage or Côte Rôtie or one of those wines up there, Saint Joseph, Cornus, all of those demand a lot of money. And yet here in the state of Washington, you can get some really, really fine Syrah for under $40. So, in fact, maybe you could comment. I'm really curious about this. I want to know. I've been enjoying the comments. I try to get back to everybody that comments. Do you have a particular thought on why Syrah sales are lagging a bit? Make a comment. I want to see what you think about that. Let's see what we get on the nose with this Ryan Patrick 2018 Redhead Red. The Syrah comes through on this. You get that kind of a smoky, a little bit of blueberry. There's some currants in there. There's an interesting beauty bark element coming through. I like that. A little earthiness as well. Getting some red flower notes also. Let's see what we get on the palate. Gritty tannins. This has some good structure to it, which is I like. I get the beauty bark element comes through on the palate, which is really cool. Very gritty tannins. Cherry notes. That kind of smokiness of the Syrah. Actually, the tannins get a little meatiness. I know that's from the Syrah. A little bit of smokiness comes through. Definitely dark cherries. A little bit of plum as well, which I did not get on the nose. Could be in there, but that beauty bark is so strong on the nose that it's hiding that plum. It really, on my tongue. Interesting wine. It's $11, a really good price. It has some good structure to it. I'm getting a little chocolate notes on the finish as well, which is a lot of you will like. You like that? Yeah, I mean, that grittiness, it needs food. I would have this with blue cheeseburgers, steak, hamburgers are blue cheeseburgers, Stan. Duh. Roast, stews, chili, this would be good. As long as the chili's not too spicy. The red flower notes come through as well. Not super complex, but not bad. And I'm going to say that chocolate earthiness on the backside, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool wine. Where do I go with that? Score-wise, I'm going to go C plus B minus. I think it lacks a little bit of complexity. It's pretty simple, but it's good. And there are some good elements in it. Like I said, the beauty bark, the plum, the cherry, the earthiness on the backside are very nice with this wine. So I'm going to go C plus B minus. I think it's pretty solid for $11. Let's move on. Now this is one, shout out to Crystal. She brought this by for me to try at the store, and it was corked. So I said, why don't you just send me a bottle? And she did. So thank you, Crystal. We're going to give this a try. Hopefully this one's not corked. This is the Pamplin, let's see, let me get this right. Pamplin Family Winery. This is their IQ, Red IQ, 2017. Now that vintage was not as easy as 18 is. This is 51% Cab, 36% Merlot, and 13% Petit Verdot. Cab, Merlot, Petit Verdot. Has a little bit of a ring to it. It's a no-brainer, it says on the back. That's kind of funny. This rolls in at $15. Pamplin Family Winery, Red IQ. Cab, Merlot, and Petit Verdot. Cab, Merlot, Petit Verdot. Cab, Merlot, Petit Verdot. Let's see what we get. Color-wise, it's much darker than the Ryan Patrick. In fact, this is Garnet with a little bit of purple in there. Very dark. I don't know if this is helping you guys at all. Let me know. I don't know. I watch these videos and think, well, yeah, you can kind of tell. You get a better card probably. Let's see what we get on those. Not cork. Beauty. This is a beauty. I can tell by the nose. Get a little vanilla. Blackberry. Currants. It's very perfumed on the nose, by the way. Which means it just really comes out of the glass. That's what, when I say perfume, that's what it means. It really comes out of the glass. There's a touch of chocolate in there, and I'm getting just a hint of tomato leaf or tomato stem. Really cool. I like that. Let's see what we get on the palate. Yeah. This is smooth, polished tannins. Currants, blackberry, chocolate underneath. The chocolate is not prominent, but there's this chocolate tone that rides underneath the currants and blackberry notes. And just slight, ever so slight, of a little bit of vegetal coming through, barely, especially on the back of the mid palate into the finish. Good expansion on the mid palate. Nice seamless across, very seamless across the palate. There's a little hit of tobacco on the back of the finish, which I think is really cool. I don't want to get too geeky about tobacco, but I just think it adds a nice complexity to red wines. You get a little bit of that tobacco note coming through on the back side. And I think I remember tobacco because, my mom smoked. My dad smoked a pipe, blah, blah, blah. I'm just very familiar with tobacco. And this is a nice wine. Very, very smooth, very well integrated, nice balance, solid wine, not over the top fruit at all, but it has the fruit. And then it has that kind of tobacco earthiness on the finish, which I really think is cool. The tannins are sweeter. I'm glad this one's showing like this, because I thought maybe my palate was off with the grittiness of the tannins, but that's not the case here. Solid structure, good wine. This is a beauty. $15. I'm giving this a big thumbs up. I'm going to go A- on this wine. I think that lingering earthy tobacco on the backside is really cool. This is a solid wine. This would be what I call an 80%er. I mean, 80% of the people that try this wine are going to like it. So I'm excited about this wine. Yeah, that barely rides underneath that chocolate. Almost like blackberries dipped in chocolate. Right through there. Solid wine. Yeah, I like it. I'm just curious real quickly. 14.2 alcohol. Not terrible. Let's move on. Some people like more alcohol, let me tell you. So this is from Oregon. I've been excited to try this since I got my hands on it. This is the 2000 and... Oh, come on. Why do they try to hide? Is this not... I think I was talking about this. It might be non-vintage. Yeah, I don't see a vintage on it. Help me out here, eyeballs. Yeah, I don't see one. Yeah, nothing here on a vintage. This is an ode to Italy from Oregon. This is the Montanore Estate Rosso di Marchesi Sesto Atto. Now, the grapes in it are Lagrein, Sangiovese, Nebbiolo, Teroldego, and Pinot Noir. Now, the only thing in here, well, they do Pinot Noir up in the Alto Adige. So, yeah. Also, Lagrein is from the Alto Adige and Trentino, and Teroldego is kind of homeland, is also Trentino in northern Italy. Lagrein, northeast Italy. Of course, Sangiovese is Tuscany. They do Pinot Noir up in northern Italy. So there you go, Nebbiolo, Piedmont. Pretty cool. But non-vintage, as far as I can tell, Montanore Estate. This rolls in at $28. I've never seen this wine before. If I have, I've forgotten. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. The fact that they can grow these wines in Oregon. It doesn't even give a yeah, pretty cool. Sorry for the pregnant pause there. I just had to look. Really cool blend. I'm excited to try it. $28, so it's not cheap, but man, oh man, the blends on that is just worth paying the price for. Oh, dripped on my board. So this is darker as well. This is what I'd call garnet to red. Definitely garnet to red. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, fairly dark. But I can see through it as well. So not super dark, no. Okay, let's see what we get on the nose. Now that has earth all over the nose. A little bit of rust, which you'd expect from the Nebbiolo. A touch of funk. Definitely getting bark. Landscape type bark, you know? The shredded, more shredded kind. There are some currant notes in there. That earthiness is incredible. So it's kind of like currants are there, but there's an earthiness coming through. I'm almost getting like a spice action as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. You think Ryan Patrick had some sandpaper on the finish. Incredible grip and sandpaper on the finish. But up front, currants, get a little raspberry and strawberry as well, which I did not get on the nose. The earthiness is there inside, front to finish. The initial attack on this was like, wow, it's pretty good. And then all of a sudden it just gets really, really super intensely grip driven on the finish. It has that rust element that is very common with Nebbiolo. I like to see that, especially since it's from the New World. You know, you want to see a little bit of that rusticity in there from Nebbiolo. Hard to you know, get the same qualities out of a Nebbiolo from the New World as the Old World, but they've done a pretty good job of getting some of that. There's almost a citrus element too that I'm getting on the back of the finish. So there's just a touch, just a kiss of citrus as well. The beauty bar note kind of like lie in the underbelly of this wine. Now I'm going to say, 28 bucks, this baby will age. That's what I'm thinking the whole time I'm trying this wine. I'm thinking, wow, you could take a couple, 3 bottles of this and stick it in your cellar and forget about it for 7 to 8 years. And I think this is all going to kind of meld together. The tannins will soften up, and you'll have a beauty of a wine. This is solid wine. Really is. Needs food right now. I'm telling you, seriously, it needs some lamb. You could do steak with this. Lamb, roast, stews. I know we're starting to get into summer a little bit. This would also go good with hamburgers. You need some protein to break down those tannins on the backside. Interesting. The Pinot Noir kind of comes through a little bit. It has that kind of weight of a Pinot Noir. It's not a heavy. Lagrind, Lagrind's actually a fairly dark-skinned grape. It does add a body to the wine. So this has kind of the yin and the yang, you know. I mean, you got a little bit of that lightweight of the Pinot, the heaviness of the Lagrind and the Teroldego are in there, and yeah. Nebbiolo, you got that lightness of the Nebbiolo. So you got all that kind of combined together to make a really cool wine. This is this is one of those wines that, you know, you get a bunch of wine geeks together and you start talking about these grapes and what they are and all that, and how they combine together to make this wine. Pretty impressive. This is very gutsy of them to go this route. The red flowers coming through as well. I'm going to go B+A- on that. I think it's a well-made wine. Not for everybody, but I think it's solid. It's $28. I think it's fairly priced. I'm sure those grapes that they're using in there, not a lot of them grown in that area. So you got to put that into, when you're thinking about price, you got to think about that, saying, how much are they paying for these grapes? What does it cost to put these grapes in this wine? You know, this is a pretty cool wine. I think a lot of you would like it, especially if you like old world style wines. The little New World. This is like New World wine with a lot of Old World, like a big smack kiss of Old World. There you go. Red blend's always a fun subject to have on YouTube. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.